Listen, Maz, it's so interesting to do these mock drafts because you might remember we used to do these like when I was doing a show here a couple years ago. Me and a few of the boys got into it. You know, you can do the draft simulator, right?
Oh, I love those.
And it's so
you can make
difficult.
trades, you can do everything. Yeah.
I'll always like when I go through the routine, Maz, I do one close to the vest because you know as well as I do the amount of times that a deal is talked about and the amount of times that a deal is consummated are two incredibly different numbers.
Correct.
So I'll always do one close to the vest where I don't move out, and then I always do like a wacky one where I end up getting myself
last year
7
was a
or
big
8
one.
picks.
Last year a lot of deals.
Yeah, dude, it was great. And you know what? When you got a guy like Brad Holmes that's doing the cooking, I don't mind it because he's shown that he can find some of those guys in later rounds, etc. But it's always funny to me when you're trying to do a mock draft with where the Lions are drafting. It's next to impossible.
It's not as fun.
It isn't.
No.
It just isn't because at the end of the day, is there's your draft order right there. Look at that. You did a nice job. Did you put that logo together or Pete?
This is from Fox.
Well, yeah, we kind of did graphics.
Right, that's a
Well,
nice.
we have it every day so we can look at it, and we have our countdown, 66 days.
Yeah.
And we change it every single day, so we're looking forward to it.
So what you're looking at right now, Maz, is at 29, there are so many things that can happen between 1 and 29.
Yep.
Maybe you have a rough idea of guys that are going to be there, but you know as well as I do, there's always a guy that goes higher than he was slated to go, and it's usually a quarterback. I'm going to be intrigued to see because I did not see the mock draft that you're talking about, but I'm going to be intrigued to hear.
We can put it up if you'd like.
I would like to hear that because J.J. McCarthy can be Exhibit A of my personal feelings. I think when people do this, people forget every single year that there is a premium put on quarterbacks.
So I was going to say, before you see it, where did you think he was going?
Top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, top 10.
He's got him at number 8 going to the
top
Atlanta
10.
Falcons.
No doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind.
He might go higher than that.
JJ?
By the time the combine is over, and the combine is next Monday, it starts in Indy. By the way, Michigan sends 18 people there, 18 players there. By the time that is over and they've spoken to him, I believe anyone from 1 to 14 can move up and get a quarterback.
You
don't think the Saints need a quarterback? The Raiders, the Broncos, the Vikings, the Jets, they all need him. And they're all behind teams that are going to take a quarterback. You got the Bears, Washington, the Cardinals, not the Cardinals, but the Patriots, for sure, and the Atlanta Falcons.
And that is what, I'm going to say it again, Maz, every year people forget that. Every year people forget. There is a premium on quarterbacks.
Yep.
Period. End of story. So your best laid plans, whether it be at pick 15, whether it be at pick 29, could go. I remember in, was it the 11 draft, where was it Fairley falling to the Lions? There were a lot of people that thought there was no way in Hades that Fairley was going to get there. And obviously we know how that worked itself out. And it was funny because teams will move up to grab quarterbacks.
Yep.
And Minnesota came out of nowhere and grabbed Christian Ponder, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean,
Mel Kiper went nuts.
That's the premium that teams put on quarterbacks. So, yes, I love to do it, okay? I love to do the mock drafts. I love to look at these mock drafts. I love to do so many of myself. But Maz, to your point, it is an exercise in futility.
Right.
It doesn't stop me from doing
It's a
it.
guess, but it's fun.
It is.
It's
fun to do, but there are so many variables that we don't know. And the one variable is, inevitably, there is going to be a team or two that moves up to draft a quarterback, and your best laid plans, can be thrown by the wayside.
You don't know what the Bears are doing. I mean, everyone's got them locked on Caleb Williams, but they hold the key. What if they like Drake May almost as much? Do you know what that one pick will get them? Well, just to move down 2 or 3 spots? Justin Fields could go to the Patriots. The Bears could move down to 3, still get their quarterback, and then have another top 10 pick either this year or next, and they sit at 9 again. You don't know what the Patriots are going to do.
And that, Maz, when Bischoff and I were doing all our draft shows in the past, that was one of the lines that
we love Scotty.
I always love to throw out there, okay? I love nothing better than hearing somebody talk about a guy's stock rising. Let's use J.J. McCarthy right now as an example. Let's use J.J. McCarthy of the national champion Michigan Wolverines as an example. I did that for you, okay? No, you know what, Maz?
It is what it is.
We're going to save that for I refuse to become what I detest.
Okay.
I will not, under any circumstance, when everybody was throwing sand at these guys for the little run they had in D'Antonio, I said, when the worm turns, and it will work, and it will turn, I am not going to be that guy. Michigan won the national championship, period. End of story.
They did.
Done. Over. No luck. None of that crap. They're the national champions, period. All right, but hear me out, okay?
All right.
So when was that game played? What was that, January 9th? I don't remember the name.
January,
whatever it was.
Yeah.
You can look it up.
Whatever.
Okay?
That first Monday in January.
Okay, so January 9th, January 8th, whatever the hell date it was, okay? What has transpired where people could watch J.J. McCarthy between January 9th and what is today, the 20th?
Today's February 20th.
What?
It was the 8th.
It was the 8th? Okay. So what has transpired between January 8th and February 20th that would change people's minds? Nothing. There have been no games.
No.
There have been no combines. There have been no underwear Olympics. There has been nothing. Have you heard about double secret? JJ, don't tell anybody.
Right.
JJ McCarthy's throwing for the pros.
There's
none of that stuff out there. So when I hear people drop the line, it cracks me up every year. Oh, JJ McCarthy's stock is rising. No, what we're starting to find out is what the real people think about these players. Not these guys that are, and I'm not trying to demean them in any way, shape, or form, because they know they're shit crap if they're doing these mock drafts and everything, right? I'm not trying to demean them.
No, I get it.
But what's changed? Nothing. So when I hear people say his stock is rising, no, that's where his stock has been. That is what NFL guys think about J.J. McCarthy. Because if you remember, about a month ago, the first mock draft I looked at had J.J. McCarthy going early second round.
Second round or late first.
Yeah.
And I fired up the crack pipe. I'm like, are you... J.J. McCarthy's not going in the second round, man. You know, and again, consider the source here, okay? He's a damn good quarterback. I mean, he does
got a
so
big
many
arm
things
and he's,
well.
Very smart, and Jim Harbaugh coached him. Jim Harbaugh, the only thing that changed, Sean, is Jim Harbaugh went on all these talk shows and said J.J. McCarthy should be the first quarterback taken. That's basically all he said.
He's so stupid.
And that's basically what's out there. That's the only thing.
His stock is rising.
Correct.
Based on what? No, you're starting to figure out what teams like about a particular. That doesn't surprise me. If I were a betting man, which I am not, if I were a betting man, I would bet that he goes in the top 10.
I'm with you. I double that.
And you are a betting man. Is there a way you could
little.
could you put a wager on that? Is it
you can
J.J. McCarthy to go in the top 10?
You can. Now Ryan has went out and he has said this was months and months ago that he would be the first quarterback taken after Caleb Williams. That's what Ryan Ermanni has been saying since for months.
Really?
And he might be right. He might jump Drake May.
I think May will go. But, I mean, you never know.
And then you got the Heisman Trophy winner.
Here's what you have to talk about. It's how much a guy in a personnel department falls in love with a guy, right?
Yep.
I mean, we can't count that. You know, there might be a guy working in one of the personnel departments early on that looks at him and, you know, here, going the other way. Patrick Mahomes is another example, right? People thought the Chiefs were out of their minds taking Patrick Mahomes.
They thought the Bills stole that deal.
Yeah.
Because the Bills traded for him.